What's up, tribe? How you guys doing? Go ahead and hit that subscribe button. I hope you like this video. This is going to be your review of Chasing Atlanta season 3 episode 11. And look, we only have 2 new episodes this season. I feel like it was a short season. Maybe it's me. But the reunion is going to be June 8th, I think it is. And so they already started selling tickets. If you live in the Atlanta area and you want to catch the reunion, go for it. If I lived in Atlanta, I definitely would be there. So here's the thing. All right, so here are my notes. And this is late because I did it yesterday and I took my notes yesterday and then I left my notes at work. And I was like, oh, okay. So anyway. So I still ended up having to do my notes all over again. But it's all good. It's all good. It's all good. So we started the episode off. We got a flag football game going on. The guys are down at Piedmont Park with some folks playing flag football. I feel like I saw, and I could be wrong, I feel like I saw what's the face from G Status ATL Hustle there. What's my man name? Y'all know who I'm talking about. Corday's friend. What's his name? Shit. I can see his face. I can think his name now. But I feel like that's who I saw. But I could be wrong. Maybe it was just a glimpse. You know, shit. People go by in a blur. But 2 main things went down at this football game, at the little flag game. We had Troy having an issue with Oliver and having an issue with Gardini. Troy's thing is, I don't want to be around Gardini because Gardini, I heard Gardini was talking shit about me. And because I heard Gardini was talking shit about me, I don't want to be around him. Now, come to find out, what he heard that Gardini said was that you're boring and something, something, something. So he was like, I'm a little irritated with Oliver because I'd already told Oliver that if Gardini was gonna be there, I don't want to be there. And Oliver was like, girl, just come on, you just come on through. And then I get there, who the first person I see? Damn Gardini. Okay. Then he said that he was upset because Oliver had a birthday party, which the cameras weren't there for. Oliver, what's up with that? But anyway, and again, he said that, something told him not to go because, again, he didn't want to be around Gardini. And lo and behold, who was at the party? Gardini. So he was like, I'm glad I didn't go. Here's my problem. It ain't my beef because I don't have no beef. But here's my issue/problem. I ain't never gonna let nobody else stop me from having a good time. Okay? Now, I might want to know who's gonna be there so I know what kind of armor to put on myself before I walk in the door. But if you my friend and you're celebrating a birthday, I might not rock with all your friends, but I'm coming to your party. I'm not gonna let nobody else stop me from coming to a party. Now, again, if it's a violent situation where I feel like it could turn into a violent situation, then okay, sure. I'm not gonna bring that onto my friend's situation. But understand something, I'm a grown ass woman. I don't do all that fighting shit. Maybe, because these guys are a lot younger than me. So maybe they still at that age where they feel like they gotta fight and they feel like they gotta solve everything with their fists. But that ain't me. If I don't like you, I just don't fucking like you. Now, like I said, and as far as him not wanting to be around Gardini because Gardini talks shit about him, okay, I can get that. But then talk to Gardini about it. Once again, I'm not going to allow you to stop me from having a good time because you don't like Gardini. I mean, because Gardini said some shit about me. Ain't no way in hell. And Troy, I like you, Troy, but I feel like that was an excuse. I feel like that was just some bullshit because you did not come off to me as the kind of person that would allow somebody else to dictate your steps. And that's what it came off as to me, that you allow somebody else to dictate where you going to move and how you going to move. And I'll be damned, ain't nobody doing that. That ain't happening. But what ended up happening was Oliver did get them to sit down and have a conversation so they could try to talk it out. And come to find out, Gardini was like, look, sis, I don't even know you like that. And first of all, I want to know where it came from. And it probably came from we were born. But I want to know where it came from because I ain't said shit about you. And I think Gardini did say that he made mention about something he did admit that he said, I can't remember what it was, but something he did say he said. But even with that, it wasn't anything that deep. And it damn sure wasn't something worth all this to me, all this rah-rah about Troy. I don't know. I like you, Troy. But just like later on in the episode, you had a situation with Cameron. And because Cameron asked you what you do, you got offended by that. Once again, what was so offensive about that? Y'all are in the whole premise of this TV show or web series, excuse me. The whole premise is we are a bunch of LGBTQ plus community members, guys, in Atlanta chasing our dreams. All of us do something, all of us are trying to pursue our own lane, whether it be entertainment, whether it be fashion, whether it be cosmetology, whether it be whatever. I don't see how Cameron was out of pocket by saying, hey, this is somebody that's new to the group. What do you do? I don't see how that was offensive. And again, you got in your feelings, you were offended by it. You run around telling everybody you don't really rock with Cameron because Cameron had the nerve to ask you what you do. I do that all the fucking time. I meet somebody new. It's a conversation piece. I don't see what's offensive by it. And I don't feel like the way he said it was shady. Maybe I'm wrong, but I don't feel like he said it in a shady kind of way. So I'm just like, can't Troy, I don't know. I didn't peg you to be sensitive, but you really were coming off real sensitive in this episode. But okay, there's that. Now the other thing that went down at the football game was Q having a conversation with his dad. He said his dad just sort of popped up on him. He brought him to the game, and how we got to see where what we found out, which I did not know, is that Q just recently came out to his father. Now, I don't know how he was necessarily living his life outside of his family, but he just came out to his father. And we know that Q does have a child. And the way he was talking, it sounds like growing up, he lived as a straight black male, had girlfriends in high school, played sports, that kind of thing. That's the impression I got from the conversation. He said something about how he was in high school and that kind of thing. So I got the impression that he was like a good old American boy, and that's what his father thought he was until he came out the closet and he said, he really loves his dad. He really cherishes his relationship with his dad, but he's just been worried that he said his father accepted him, but he's just been worried that that would be a problem with them, and that even though his dad accepted him and he was grateful for the initial acceptance, just worried about the long term because it is still very new. And just seeing him in a relationship and seeing him living, it's one thing to say, hey, dad, I'm gay. It's another thing to bring boo home. It's another thing to be on web series and as public as Q is, seeing it, and so that was a very touching scene to see them talking about it and to see his dad be like, look, I love you. You know what I mean? You my son and I love you, and that is what it is. Period. So that was a great scene, I thought. Then we had a scene with Jaylon and his dad. And again, we know that Jaylon's dad works with Jaylon, and they have he bought his dad a car and things of that nature. But again, he said, me changing my persona because he's not transitioning. He made it very clear that he likes his boy parts, he likes being a boy, and that he has no intention of fully transitioning. However, he said, I do want to become more of a feminine persona, changing my name to Lauren, wearing women's clothes. And he said, I don't want to feel like I can't totally be me in front of my dad. I want to feel like I can wear my heels. I want to feel like I can wear my fashions and wear my wigs and do all the things around my dad. He said, my dad accepts that I'm gay. I don't know if my dad accepts to that extent of me being gay, the whole Lauren England persona. And, his dad's thing was, once again, his dad was like, look, you are my son, and I would much rather have you in my life and you be gay and be Lauren and be whoever than not have you in my life at all. And, he told his son, you shake off them damn haters. There's going to always be haters. There's going to always be people that judge you or question you. You shake it off and you fuck them. Like, basically, don't even worry about them. And then the other thing he said that I thought was very interesting, he said to him, my only concern with you is I don't want you to do something you can't undo. And I think that might have been what he was worried about. Um, I think that's where he might have been worried about him transitioning into a woman. But even the plastic surgery, I think he may be like, look, you say you don't want to be a girl, but you're getting your butt plumped up and you're getting this and you're getting that. And he said, I just want to make sure that you don't do something that you can't undo. And so I thought that was an interesting conversation and an interesting statement. I already told y'all about Cameron and Troy. Again, Cameron invited Troy to come to. He was styling somebody, sound like a very popular artist in the Atlanta area. And he invited Troy to come down and style with him because he wanted to get to know him better, kind of talk to him. He said, it got back to me. The girls told me that you was feeling some kind of way and feeling like, that questioning, when I said to you, what do you do? And so, they cleared the air and he was like, look, I didn't mean nothing by it. It wasn't nothing to it. I wasn't trying to, you know, come at you no kind of way with that. Then Jaylon visits Q. Q's doing a stage play, and Jaylon went to go visit Q while he was doing, while he was practicing and stuff. And they had a really good heart to heart. He said, I said, Jaylon, Lauren, um, he said, you're the only person that out of this group that really understands what I've been going through with my man these last couple of months you know, because he's in the industry, I'm in the industry, once people figured out who we were and that we were dating, it was all in the blogs. Everybody had an opinion. People knew what was going on. They knew that we were together. And, you know, our relationship just was on steroids. We just went really, really quickly. But when it didn't work out or wherever they were in that moment, he said it just really hurt. He said, he's the first real relationship that I've had. And it's just really hurtful for what we went through and where we are. And Lauren was understood and everything. And she said, but you know what? It's not as bad as you think it is. And he was like, nah, it's over. It's over. She said, no, it's not. He said, no, it's over. It's over. She said, let me tell you something. I was with him last week in the studio and he said that y'all good. So I'm getting two totally different conversations. And so I don't think it's as bad as you think it is. I don't think that y'all are over like you seem to think y'all are. And I think it's going to work out. Like, just chill out. And honey, the look, that smile that came across Q's face when Lauren told him that. Oh my goodness, it was just so genuine how relieved he was and how happy he was to hear that. And they talked a little bit, and I think now Lauren be flirting with Q. I think there's a part of Lauren that really want to get with Q. I don't know what their past was. I think it was rumored that they dated in the past or whatever, but I don't know if he really wants to date Q, but I don't think in that moment, because I think him and his other Q are back together and they are very happy from what Instagram shows. But I think in that moment, I think he might have been down for it. I don't know. Q was like, I ain't getting with nobody for a long time. It's been way too long, and I mean, that's heartbreak is just too new, too raw, and too deep. But they're in a much better place now. So then we have Oliver Gardini and Q. They're over Gardini's little spot talking or whatever. And a couple of things they talk about. First, of course, they talk about, how everybody hating on Gardini or whatever. But that's par for the course. Gardini, you are that person. You are a shit stirrer. So the hate is gonna come to you. You revel in that role, and it's cool. Like, you're cool with it. But they brought up the fact that he was uninvited to the We Were Born party, and I think he was really hurt by it. Like, you invite me, we were cool, we hung out, we did this, we did that, and then all of a sudden I'm uninvited for no reason and no explanation, and you uninvite me for Jaylon don't even fucking show up. Lauren, excuse me, and Lauren don't even show up. And I think he was a little hurt by it. And Oliver went on to basically say that We Were Born just ain't ready for this. Like, they just ain't ready for this platform. They're not ready for all that comes with this platform, the hate, the conversation, the gossip. And you have to have some really thick skin when you put yourself out, whether it be YouTube, Lifetime, VH1, whatever. You have to have thick skin when you put yourself out there and allow other people to judge your life and your choices and your lifestyle. And I don't disagree with Oliver that, especially Jay Twan. I said that before, that what worries me about Jay Twan is how he can go from 0 to 100 and cannot bring himself down over the smallest thing. He hears what he wants to hear. And so the smallest slight will set him off. And then when you cut through the bullshit, it ain't even what he thought it was. It don't even break down to what he thought was being said about him. And that is very bothersome to me. With Jay Twan, We Were Born. Oh, I forgot. At the beginning of the episode, we did hear Lil Kendra. They had a phone call from her from jail. And you know, just wish her the best, wish her well, hope that whatever's going on works itself out really soon. Um, the other thing they talked about was the situation with Cameron. and Sky, and they even had they showed a clip of the live that Cameron did with Storm, where he was saying that him and Sky trying to date, and they dated in the past, and they just kind of were always two ships passing in the night, but they gonna make it work this time, or they gonna work it out this time, and they're really trying to make it work. And Sky, we know last week Sky was like, we went on one date, and Cameron has just kind of been connected to too many people for my comfort zone. And so I don't know. They are totally on two different pages. Like there's no meeting of the minds between them at all. So I don't know what that's about. And then they went on to just basically say that Cameron is a liar. Like they feel like Cameron is just lying. They brought up again the situation with who told who that Q was paying his bills. And Gardini was like, look, he said that Devon and Sky told him. Gardini was like, I never said that you told me, Q, because me and you weren't even cool like that last year. Why would you tell me your personal finances and your personal business like that? Me and you weren't even that tight last year. So I find it very interesting that there still seems to be some confusion about who said what and why about Cameron and who's paying his bills and this whole Sky situation, which I ain't even know nothing about till last week because I don't watch all the different lives, so I didn't know nothing about it till last week. But it's definitely, to say the least, a concern when you have two people having the same damn conversation and it's two totally different things connected. Um, Definitely interesting. And then they had this really interesting conversation about Lauren meeting up with Busy, that's Q's boo, in the studio, and how she didn't tell Q about it, and they felt like, Gardini and Oliver both said they feel like she should have told Q. Q didn't seem to be that bothered by it. Q was like, yeah, could she have made a phone call and let me know? Sure, but do I think it was anything calculated with any malice behind it? No, I really don't. I don't think it was like that. And I don't either. I think that, like she said last week, she got a little nosy and everything, but I really don't think it was any malice. I don't think it was anything calculated, and I certainly don't think it was anything to go behind Q's back to start no shit. Like she didn't, other than talking to Busy about Q and how upset he was with what's going on with them personally. I felt like she was sort of being a friend to Q. So I don't know. I feel like they were hyping it up, and I definitely feel like Gardini was hyping it up because he already don't like Lauren. I don't think Oliver was hyping it up for that reason because I don't think Oliver necessarily dislikes or likes Lauren for that deep. I just think that they were sort of defending Q and taking Q's side of it, but I don't really think it was that deep. As a friend, I definitely would be. I'm not gonna lie, I would definitely be side eyeing somebody who had a private conversation with a friend of mine's boyfriend, ex-boyfriend, or otherwise, and didn't follow the proper girl code. I could see the issue, don't get me wrong, but I don't think that it's as deep as they were trying to make it. You know what I'm saying? Like they were like, I don't care if he see him at the light, he's supposed to call you and say, guess who I saw down at the light? You know what I mean? Like I don't think it's that deep. I probably would. I'd be like, girl, you know who I saw down at the mall the other day. You know who I saw? Like, we do that as girlfriends. We definitely make those phone calls and we do that. But do I feel like there was an obligation? I don't know. I could see the point of view though. I could definitely see where Gardini and Oliver were coming from, but I could see where Q was coming from. Q was like, look, I trust him, and at that moment, and to be honest, and look at what came out of that conversation that Lauren had with him. Lauren was able to bring some information back to Q to say, look, it ain't as bad as you think it is, boo. Y'all good. Y'all gonna work it out. Y'all gonna get past this. You know what I'm saying? So no, y'all, I don't know. But anyway, that was last night's episode. No, that wasn't last night's episode. That was Wednesday night's episode of Chasing Atlanta. We got one more episode before the season is over and before we get to this reunion, honey. And this reunion is gonna be a mess, and that's all I'm gonna say about that. Y'all let me know what y'all think. Drop it in the comments, please.